Hey, brilliant people. So, if you've read my book or know anything about what I do, you probably are aware that my life is in a very different place to kind of where it started. I mean, I started in a very well, I guess mainstream kind of way. My first degree is in veterinary medicine, and yeah, my life has evolved to be quite different. I developed fractology. I wrote The Soul's Brain. I teach intuition. Yeah, it's quite a different direction for my life. And in order to teach the fractology, and develop that whole, the Institute of Fractology, yeah, that's quite different. But when you go to change your life like that, it really means that you're changing your life to be not what other people expect you to be, but to be who you really are. And leading an organization that does that, well, that's what I'm here to talk to you about today, and to talk to you about 5 things that I wish that someone had told me or that I had known before I started. So the first thing is that, of course, is to understand that it's very easy for people to come together for a common enemy. It's not so easy to bring people together for a common cause. I mean, think about how many times you've heard people think about, oh, we're at our best under adversity. But that's because when there is a major problem, we can all agree that that's a problem. But when there is a purpose, we have to deal with problems, because if we don't deal with them, things are just going to get worse and they're kind of in our face. But when we're coming together for a common purpose, well, we don't have to do that. It's kind of like getting fit. I mean, if you're sick, you have to do something to get yourself better. But if you're generally okay, you don't have to go and get fit. And having a common purpose is like that. So it is one of the things that you have to learn to do is to be able to bring together people for a common purpose. So you have to be able to explain to people in a way that they can connect to. And also you have to learn to find those people that are in alignment with your common purpose. And so it isn't just a matter of just, getting people to roll up. You've got to be looking for the people whose purpose in life is in alignment with your purpose. So that's the first thing I wish that I'd known. It's like how to find people with an aligned purpose. If I'd known that at the beginning, well, things probably would have gotten to this point a lot sooner. All right, so the second thing that I wish that I'd known is that people join you in your purpose because they're inspired by it. They're inspired by your vision, but of course they're doing it for their own purpose. They're doing it for their own vision. And of course, being able to talk to people about that in a way that is really constructive, so that people don't feel that by talking about what every person's vision is, that you're not saying that there is an alignment there, but that actually we're really all working on our own vision. It's just that we're working on this central theme that is mutually expansive, so it's going to benefit all of us. But having the ability to appreciate other people's vision. And of course, the tricky thing is that sometimes people aren't even really clear on their own vision. So the ability to help other people realize their own vision. Yeah, we really wish that I understood that a little bit better to start with, because leadership is not so much, I believe, about telling other people what to do. It's actually about leading yourself, and through that, inspiring other people to actually be their best self. The third thing that I wish that I was clear on is that the destination is non-negotiable, but the path is highly and always negotiable. I mean, sometimes whenever I've got stuck in the past, it's always been because I've thought that there was something that I had to do. I got stuck on doing things a particular way instead of remembering that it's about that common purpose. And as long as I keep correcting towards that common purpose, we're going to get there. So the thing is that when we get fixated on doing things a particular way, that's when we tend to fall back into right-wrong thinking instead of staying with systems thinking and just constantly correcting towards that purpose. And the more that we do that, the more that we realize, well, if we have that common purpose, it doesn't really matter how we get there, as long as we're all still in our integrity, obviously. And so the more that we allow ourselves to negotiate how we get there, actually, the more gracefully and easily we will achieve that end point. Which brings me to the fourth thing, which is that, to remember joy. To remember that, the reasons why that I do this. As I said, leadership is about leading yourself. And to actually, it's very easy when you're leading an organization or when you're trying to create change. It's very easy to get fixated on what you're trying to do and to just work at it. But remembering the joy, remembering that you're doing this, for reasons of passion and love and the joy that gives, and allowing yourself the time to appreciate that and to feel the joy and to have the joy. Because without that, you can't keep going. And if you forget about the joy as to why you're doing it, you're going to get burnt out. So by remembering the joy, and remembering that, like that joy, your joy is the juice that enables you to create what you're creating. So it's not that your joy is taking you away from your purpose. Again, joy and purpose have a mutually expansive exchange, because your joy will give you energy to achieve your purpose, and hopefully your purpose obviously should give you joy if it's an expression of who you truly are. So the fourth thing is remember joy. And the fifth thing is, actually this was something that I was told before I started all this, but it's something I really wanted to share anyway, because I think that it is something that it is good for anybody who is starting any organization or creating a new system or whatever it is that you are working on creating, is to work to make yourself redundant. Now, what do I mean by that? See, the thing is particularly if what we're working to do is to create something that is going to truly have a long-term effect. Well, it is very, it's just a truth that one day you won't be here. One day I won't be here. This video might still be here, but but I won't be here. So the thing is that when we think about that, when we think about making ourselves redundant, what it means is, can I create this organization so that it's still going to achieve my purpose, it's still going to achieve my vision, whether I am there to, crank the handles and do the work? Is this system that I'm working to create, because an organization, when it's working at its best, it's a system for for achieving your purpose. So the system is actually, the test of that system is whether it can work when you're actually not there. So by doing that, by working to make yourself redundant, you are actually working towards creating a system that can go on and continue to achieve your purposes, whether you're around or not. Now, have I actually managed to entirely achieve that? Well, not yet. Getting close, because I've developed the fractology and I've developed a way to teach other people, but we're still in the midst of developing the teacher training so that then we'll have other people out there who are also teaching other fractology practitioners. And once I've done that, I will have achieved my goal of making myself redundant. So yes, that is my current ambition, is to make myself redundant. So, so there you are. There are the 5 things that I wish that I had, that I'd known before I started, the whole fractology thing. So the first thing is to remember that a common purpose is what you need to create. And yeah, that means finding people who are aligned with your purpose. But the second thing is that even if people are inspired by your vision, they're doing it for their own vision, as they should, because they're doing it for their integrity. Third thing is, remember, the destination is non-negotiable, because if you allow your destination to be negotiated, well, you're not going anywhere. But if you want to get there faster, you've got to negotiate the journey. Number 4 is to remember joy. And number 5 is, you want to become redundant, because that's going to make sure that what you're creating is really going to work. So there are those 5 things. So do those 5 things and that will help you always be brilliant.